Navarun,
yes, Pradyut Debarman, go ahead.
Clear, but did,
go ahead.
The honourable member from the Communist Party call our young people refugees?
I'm sure he didn't mean it.
Did he call our young people refugees? No. What do you mean not mean it? How dare you call an Indian a refugee? How dare you call an indigenous person of Northeast a refugee? Tripura has had the history of accommodating all the displaced people from Bangladesh to our soil. We have kept them there. And today in our own land, they will call us refugee. Either you take that word back or we will. This is unacceptable. How dare you call an Indian a refugee?
Absolutely.
I refuse to take part in such debate where an indigenous person from Northeast, a Riyang, is called a refugee, and the people we have accommodated, my ancestors have accommodated them in Tripura, and they are calling our people refugees. What is the legal definition of refugee in the Constitution of India?
Absolutely. Point taken.
How dare they say something like this? No, the Communist Party will have to pay the price for calling the indigenous people of Northeast, the indigenous people, our Bru brothers and sisters, refugees. We will see who are the refugees. Either the Communist Party takes that word away or we will protest. This is unacceptable. This is 2020. We know what happened in Dumbur. We know how our young people, our Jamatia people were displaced. Mewar himself is testimony to that. Kanchanpur, the name Kanchanpur came into existence when my grandmother, my father's own mother, accommodated people who were displaced Hindus from Bangladesh and gave them land, specifically the Swasti Committee in the 1950. Now, in the same place where my grandmother, that's why it's named Kanchanpur after Kanchan Prabha Devi, the Rajmata of Tripura. Today, in the same Kanchanpur area, when the indigenous people are told in their own homeland that you are not allowed to settle here, it does not only hurt the sentiment of only the Riyang people, it hurts the sentiment of every indigenous person in Tripura who feels, why were we given the same option when people had come out from another country and accommodated? Did they take permission from us to settle in our land? No, nobody took permission. Today, we are told to take permission from civil societies when the government of India has given us commitment. Having said that, we don't want any conflict with anybody, be it the Bengalis, be it the Mizos, be it any community. We want to live in peace. There is enough that we can do to build a civil society which is healthy. But if political activists and political people are playing a mischievous game and trying to polarize two communities or three communities in this way, then there will be a problem. I am going to go and tell Amit Shah that you have given a commitment to the people of, the government of India has given a commitment, and the government of India's commitment has to be honored. Last point, my honorable former colleague Piyush Biswas had said that the government of India never took all the parties' consensus before stakeholders before coming to a decision. Piyush Babu knows this very well, like I do. Did the government of India take any consensus before they passed the Citizenship Amendment Act last year? No, they did not. And the same people who are criticizing the government of India today were the same people bursting crackers in Kanchanpur area when Citizenship Amendment Act was passed. So that clearly proves who are the indigenous people and who are people who have sympathy to another country.